This whole series, and it is a series of things, started in 1984, the birth of my son. And the reason that happened was I started thinking that I had all this trauma in my life, and what's really important for everyone to know is that my stepmother, who actually was not a very kind woman to me, I mean, she kind of tortured my brother and I, and my father. She used to humiliate him by screaming in the courtyard that he was unemployed, which he was for most of his life. And we lived very poorly, and she worked sort of cleaning up in a school, and she would bring over the leftovers, so a lot of the food we ate was sort of scraped off of other people's plates. I mean, it was really terrible. Anyway, her story is, in a sense, what started some of this, because I thought being raised like that, I would end up sort of transferring some of those horrors to my son. So I thought, how do I purge all these bad thoughts, bad ideas that are in me? And then I heard her story, and her story is she came to America almost by accident. Her brother went to Canada, saved, typical immigrant stories, saved enough money to bring the father out. The money was sent back to Poland, where she was from, and he got this money and then got quite sick. So he was terrified that he would be rejected and sent back to Poland, being ill, which was common in those days. So he gave the ticket to my stepmother. She came over. That was in 1938. Obviously, September 1st, 1939, the start of the First World War, the Nazis invaded Poland, and that entire family was wiped out. And some people go through this experience almost becoming angelic, and some people go through this experience as bitter, tormented, and transfer that torment to other people. Unfortunately, that was my story. So in 1984, my son was about to be born. I decided I had to deal with this. And the series started. I thought it would last, a couple of months, maybe a year or so. And it went on for 15 odd years. And I don't consider one piece more important than the other. They're all of a totality. And I sacrificed a lot doing that. First of all, it was sort of outside the realm of the mainstream art world. And I was doing quite well. I had shows in New York and was selling art. And taking this on ended my career as sort of on a trajectory of, going into the heavy-duty mainstream art world. But, in retrospect, it was well worth it. And for me, I'm very pleased with the outcome in the sense of this is a major part of my life and a major part of my career. And I think the work speaks for itself.